Hello and welcome back to this video. So my name is Phil
And I'm Mike.
and this is the IELTS Grind. So today we're going to be doing a little bit of practice with speaking. However, there's a bit of a twist.
These are not IELTS questions. Don't leave!
No, don't go anywhere because they are still useful. They're kind of very familiar topics that you will know about. But what we're trying to do is show you the difference between higher level English and lower level English. So we're going to set ourselves a little challenge. So one of us will be introducing the topic in a much higher level. And then we're going to show you the difference with how a lower level English student may talk about the same thing.
And this is going to be a bit of a competition, so tell us which one of us you thought did better.
Yes, leave us a comment. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to leave Mike all on his own. And he's going to listen to the better version, the higher version, and then he's going to try and say the same thing but using lower level English. So can you hear the difference? Let's go. So, Michael, for your first challenge, we'll be talking about climate change. Are you ready?
Yes.
Despite the hesitation of some people to accept it as fact, climate change is a serious issue for governments and citizens alike. Personally, I feel that we need to bite the bullet and address the issue sooner than later. One major solution would be to reduce the general consumption society has of fossil fuels.
Okay. Not everyone agrees about climate change. Even though not everyone agrees about climate change, it's still something that governments and people need to deal with. Crap. Let's see. And then we need to do something about this. We need to drive less and use less coal and oil and make less CO2.
Okay.
The end.
Okay, so Mike, how was that? How do you think you did?
I think I did great.
Okay, so shall I give my version of that?
Yeah.
Okay, so some people don't think climate change is real, but governments and people both need to do something. I feel that we need to definitely do something and to deal with the problem now.
That's what I forgot. Okay, keep going.
One way to do this is to use less fuel like oil, coal, gas, and to produce less carbon dioxide.
You know, I think fossil fuels is actually one of those words that even lower level people, like 4s or 5s, would still, it's like in their vocabulary.
Yeah, I think so.
So I think if they just say fossil fuel, that'd be fine. If they could list it after saying fossil fuel to say that they really know it, that would probably help them out.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I think you did pretty well there.
I missed one big one,
Yeah.
and the other 3 I think I got pretty well.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll probably talk about this a little bit later in the video, just to give you some phrases that I felt that were higher level, some idioms I used, and some structures. But for now, why don't we move on to the next one?
It's my turn. Are you
It's
ready?
me. Not really.
Hello, Philip. This is God.
I'm listening.
There are so many endangered animals now, all over the world, mostly as a result of human activity. Their habitats are being destroyed to make room for residential areas and agriculture. Whole forests, whole swaths of forests, are being chopped down for timber. The panda is a great example. They are large animals and need vast ranges for each individual. They also have a very select diet of bamboo, and we are developing over their food sources.
Wow, okay. Firstly, this is the first time I've spoken to God, so I'm a little bit starstruck there. And that was particularly long, so let's see what I can do. So I'm going to try and talk about endangered animals at a lower level. Okay, so there are many animals which maybe will die soon because of what human beings do. We are mainly making them disappear because we are building in the places that they live, and we're building cities and towns, and also we are making farms and growing plants to eat in the places they live, and I can't remember, and the panda is a type of animal which might die soon, and it's because of humans. Oh, I can't remember. Okay, let's see what Michael has to say about my performance.
So how do you think you did?
I thought it was going to be easier than that.
Me too.
I think the thing that threw me off was the God voice. I always thought God was a woman, but that's just me. So, do you want to give us your version of what you think a lower student might say?
You actually did a really, really good job. The only things that you missed were about how people are cutting down forests for wood to make things.
Now, I know that I'm trying to do the lower level, but can you think of a sort of a higher level word to describe that process of cutting trees down?
You mean deforestation?
Yes, I could see it forming in the brain there. Yes, deforestation.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Deforestation is a process where you remove the trees, and it's a big problem. Maybe not so much, possibly for endangered animals, but much more so for climate change as well. Yeah. Okay, so do you want to give us your version of this?
Well, yeah. Because your first half was perfect, I'll just go into the second half.
Okay, that's fair enough. He doesn't want to do the whole thing.
So, the panda is one animal that humans are killing. And pandas are big, and they need a lot of land. Each panda needs a lot of land. They only eat bamboo. And so we humans are removing or getting rid of their food.
Okay, good. So, who do you think's doing a good job, a better job so far? Leave a comment in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're finding this fun, if you're finding it useful, and click the notification bell. That way you're not going to miss any of the new videos that we put up every single week, in fact twice a week. So we've got one more topic, and it's for you.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. So let's see how Michael does with this one. Okay, Michael, this is not the voice of God, but we are going to be talking about natural disasters.
Can I hear it from Sean Connery?
No, you can't. Sean Connery is not here. Okay. Although they are extremely worrying when they occur, earthquakes do a lot less damage nowadays than they used to. When the next one hits, it will have been the 4th or 5th earthquake I've experienced. Every time I feel the ground start to shake, my heart is in my mouth.
Now it's time for my low version. Let's see. Many people are scared of earthquakes. Even though many people are scared of earthquakes, earthquakes are not so scary anymore. Less people die now than before. Every time that I feel an earthquake, I am scared, but not as scared as before. And I think I'm missing 2 more things. The end.
Okay, so I think you did pretty well there, but you did miss out a little bit of information. So how about I give you my version?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so earthquakes are very scary, but they don't break things and cause people to die or buildings to fall down as much as they did in the past. Okay. The next earthquake that I experience will be the 4th or 5th earthquake ever.
I forgot that.
When the earth shakes, I feel scared.
Ha! Ha!
And
I said that one.
And that's it.
No! All right,
Okay.
so I missed the bit in the middle.
Right, so Mike, shall we go back and talk about some of these structures and some of these phrases?
Yeah.
Okay, so we were talking about the first one, we were talking about climate change.
Yep.
So what I tried to do is to start off with a complex grammar structure. So I was contrasting two pieces of information, but in the same sentence. That's not that easy to do. So what I said, just to remind you, was despite the hesitation of some people to accept it as fact, comma, climate change is a serious issue for governments and citizens alike.
Fancy.
Yeah. So I'm using the contrasting structure. So using despite and a noun. So despite the hesitation. Okay. We could also use despite the fact that, and perhaps an action as well. So that's the point that we're contrasting two ideas in the same sentence.
Despite A, comma, B.
Yeah. We could also do this with words like however, where I would say some people hesitate in accepting that climate change is serious, full stop, however, and then the next point, yeah. So that's what I was trying to do there. Another thing that I tried to do in this example was to use an idiom. So I used the idiom to bite the bullet.
That was a good one. I noticed that, and I was like, how am I going to say that in lower level?
Yeah. So
Tear.
what does it mean to bite the bullet?
It means it's something difficult that you need to do,
Yeah.
and then you just do it.
Yeah. So to bite the bullet. So bite the bullet and start studying. To bite the bullet and tell your parents that you crashed your car. Yeah. So these kind of things, to bite the bullet, to do something that you don't want to do, but you have to do. Yeah. And then I was trying to use a bit of sequencing language by using a phrase, one major solution. And I said would be rather than is. So would be, this is what we call hypothetical, an unreal situation. So you could say I'm speculating there. Yeah. So one major solution would be, and then the solution. Okay, so let's talk about what you had in your second example.
Yeah. Well, my only example.
Well,
Endangered animals.
Our second example.
Yes.
We're doing this together.
So, this wasn't super high level. There were a number of higher level vocabulary terms that were used. Endangered animals.
Yeah.
Okay, and endangered, of course, means that they're at risk of going extinct. They're at risk of disappearing from the world. Okay. As a result, mostly as a result of human activity, this was a nice little phrase that you could remember. Mostly as a result of something. This is when you're introducing a problem.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Habitats, really nice high-level word to use to describe where animals live and work, basically. That's the meaning of a habitat.
Yeah. Often we say natural habitats.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good collocation right there.
Yeah.
Yep. And let's see if do you guys know any habitats for any animals? I'll say an animal, and then you say the habitat. Are you ready? Panda. What do you think?
Well, I would say bamboo forest.
Nice.
That,
yeah.
that's what I said.
Okay. What's the habitat of a giraffe?
Serengeti?
Yeah, a savanna with some trees, which they eat. Yes.
Yeah, Serengeti is a particular one is it?
Yes.
Which country is that in?
It's in Africa.
Africa's not a country.
Oh,
Typical
I feel
American.
so bad.
Typical American. If you know where the Serengeti is, leave us a comment. Which country is the Serengeti in?
It's probably over a couple.
Yeah. Africa. Okay, so what else did you put in?
Agriculture is a nice word to use if you know how to use it. This is one of those words that I hear a lot of my students. They learn it in a dictionary,
Yeah.
but then they just use it all the time. Yeah.
And the way to avoid that is when you're reading, you always look at a phrase. So when you learn a new word, don't just take the word and put it in your vocabulary notebook. Look at the sentence, which other words are around it, the context of use. That's going to help you use new vocabulary in the correct way.
Yes. Next up, we have timber, which, by the way, means wood. Okay. Another good higher level word that you could use is lumber.
Yeah, commercially sold wood.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And then large animals, vast ranges for each individual. Vast range, that's a great high-level collocation to be using. And then select diet.
Select diet, yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So if we talk about the final example that I used, which we were talking about natural disasters, in this case earthquakes, which we get fairly frequently here in
Yeah,
Taipei.
they're normal here.
Yeah, I'm from London. We never had earthquakes before I came here. Crazy. I was also trying to use that complex grammar structure of using a contrasting structure. So in this case, I used although. I said, although they are extremely worrying when they occur, comma, earthquakes do a lot less damage nowadays than they used to. So here I was using not only the contrasting structure with although, but I was also using used to, talking about a fact, a habit in the past. That is not the same now.
And he was also using a comparative with less damage.
I was using so much. I was on fire. Then what I tried to do, I tried to slip this past you. Yeah. I said, when the next one hits, it will have been the 4th or 5th earthquake I've experienced. Will have been.
Future perfect.
Future perfect. Which
it did. It flew right past me. I missed it. I also missed the time frame.
I feel so proud of myself. But yeah, future perfect. It seems like it's quite complex, but it's actually quite easy to use. If you know how to use the present perfect simple, you can use the future perfect simple. It's just a case of moving when now is, when the moment of the action happening and the result is.
He does a really good job going over this in a video of his grammar overview.
Yeah, it's the 3 concepts of English grammar. You can check that out in the description. And then I also used another idiom. So my heart is in my mouth, or your heart to be in your mouth. Yeah, which means to be afraid.
Very afraid.
Yeah.
Your heart in your mouth.
Yeah, you don't want that. It's a scary situation. Okay, so hopefully you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done already. Click that notification bell. And if you're interested in learning more tips and having more exercises every single week, sign up to our newsletter, which we send out to you every single week. And you can do that at the IELTSgrind.com/newsletter.
Good luck, guys, and see you next time.
See you next time.
Peace.